What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this really quick little review, mini review of 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way, Season 7, The Tell All Part 1. So I do apologize to my viewers that this did not go up earlier because the show came on Monday night, and Monday night before the show came on, my power went out. My circuit breaker had burnt out. So it took a lot to get everything situated. It took the electrician like a couple of days just to fix the problem because they have to find a circuit breaker that could go with my house because my house is so old, etc., etc., etc. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. We are back in business and we can continue on with our regularly scheduled programming, even though it is extremely late. I'm not going to keep y'all too long. It wasn't that much to talk about. These people are not that deep. So I'm gonna just give you like a little quick 1-2 and then we'll be done. I really want to focus on Chloe. I really want to focus on Chloe and Johnny because Chloe really disappointed me. And Chloe really disappointed me. So where do we even begin? Okay, so they're still broken up. Thank God for that. They played the clip of when they had their breakup, when Chloe was breaking up with Johnny, and they had that huge confrontation, that confrontational scene. And they did mention on the tell-all, they didn't talk about the rings. Maybe they'll come up on part 2. But in part 1, they didn't mention the rings that whatever female or whoever female left at Johnny's house. And he thought the rings belonged to Chloe, and he was telling Chloe to get her rings. Come to find out, they weren't even hers. That wasn't mentioned. When they showed that clip again, it just really infuriated me seeing how Johnny was talking to Chloe. Like, I was upset all over again. Like, the way that he was deflecting, the way that he was trying to turn things on her, the way that, he thought it was a bigger deal that she went through his phone and told her friends about what he did. That was a bigger deal than him betraying her and cheating on her. The way he really tried to minimize his wrongdoing, lying to your girlfriend, cheating on your girlfriend. It was just, he's a sick guy. Johnny's sick. Okay. He's like mentally sick. And then, we see the part where he told her that she wasn't, SHIT. He told her, he's like, you ain't SHIT. And it's like, this girl did so much for this relationship. We're going to assume that she did so much for the relationship and not to be on a TV show and gain notoriety and, whatever. Let's just put that to the side. We know that's the ultimate goal for all of these people, is to get famous, make money, and expand their social media platforms. Put that to the side because it is a general rule for all of them. She did so much for him, leaving everything behind in Massachusetts to come and start a new life with this guy. And he's got the audacity, after he got caught cheating and admitted to cheating, has the audacity to tell her, well, you ain't, So that really pissed me off. And so watching that scene, like I said, I got upset with Johnny, and, we were all rooting for Chloe, like, yes, girl, get your life back, get your voice back, because he was really trying to turn her into something that she truly wasn't. He was trying to turn her into like this Susie homemaker, where he wanted her just to stay home and cook and clean while he ran the streets and did whatever he did on the boat with whoever, while he continued to live his life. He didn't want his life to change in any way, but he wanted her to change, completely become a different person to satisfy him. So when she was, confronting him with all of the facts of him cheating and all the things, we're watching the scene and we're like really invested, and we're like, yes, Chloe, yes, girl, call him out, point out all the things that he did, point out all the evidence that you have against him, because he couldn't run from the evidence, he couldn't run from the facts. And because he couldn't, he started deflecting. Well, you did this, and you went behind my back, and you went through my phone, and you're ruining my reputation, and da da da. And then when he goes, yeah, of course I cheat on you because I'm a guy. Of course I'm going to ask women for nudes because I'm a guy. It was just sickening. Okay. Very, very disgusting behavior. So to find out that after that, on that same day that she went and slept with him, I lost all respect for Chloe. Now, I know that we live in a very sex positive culture right now. We don't do the slut shaming, and it's got nothing to do with that at all. She can do whatever she wants with her body. That's cool. Okay, I don't have an issue with a woman going back to a man that has cheated on her. Okay, whatever. You want to go back to him, or the chemistry between y'all is so strong that y'all can't stay away from each other after he cheated on you. Okay, fine, whatever. I'm not gonna criticize a woman for doing that. Um, if him cheating on her, she wants to go back with him. Okay, that's fine. Him let's say, they get into this argument. He doesn't want to take accountability for what he did, and then she still runs back to him for one more night, one more romp or whatever. Okay, girl, I get it. Cool, whatever. The thing that bothered me about Chloe was the fact that this guy disrespected her and humiliated her and embarrassed her purposely, intentionally, and then she still goes back to him. Let's say Johnny never cheated. Let's say Johnny had never cheated on Chloe and that he was faithful to Chloe. And the only thing he did was talk to her the way he did for whatever reason. They get into a fight about something. That's not cheating, because in my little pretend scenario, Johnny never cheats. He never cheated on her. But they get into arguments about something else. And in this argument, he talks to her the way he did, calling her out of her name, saying that she ain't blah, 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 whatever, trying to point out her wrongdoings, not taking accountability for any of his own wrongdoings. I would still feel the same. It's got nothing to do with him cheating on her. That's not what's making me disgusted with Chloe, that she went back to him. It was not because she went back to him after he cheated. It's the fact that she went back to him after he humiliated her and wanted the whole world to see her in such a negative light. This woman that he supposedly loved and cared for, and he was the one that ruined that relationship. He was the one that broke her trust, because they both admit that in the very beginning they're both up to no good, and then they both mutually decided that we're going to move forward, we still want to be together, and we're going to wipe the slate clean, and we're going to start all over. And then he ends up cheating on her again. So they both decided that, let's try this again. This woman you voluntarily wanted to be with. Nobody forced you to be with her. Nobody threatened your life to go back to Chloe or to start fresh with Chloe. You chose to go back to Chloe. You chose to start all over with her. Then you end up cheating on her again. She catches you. She's heartbroken. She's confronting you about it, and you're not apologetic. You're not taking any accountability, blah, 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 so on and so forth. But the fact that he humiliated her and embarrassed her and wanted the whole world to see her as this horrible person, and then she went back and slept with him, I had to look at Chloe completely differently. Like, girl, you have zero self-respect. You have absolutely zero self-respect to give your body back to the man who wanted to embarrass you like that. To tell her that she wasn't, to call her a whore, to call her, oh, he did it on the tell-all. Someone who just said the most embarrassing, humiliating things about her. Let me see if I can even go back and pick out exactly what he said. 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. No, not that one. The other way. 90 Day Fiance the other way. Okay, yeah, Joey, like here, I put here in my notes. Joey's packing up her stuff. Yeah, that's another thing. When she came back to get her stuff, and she was like, I'm here to get my stuff, and I don't need your help, and I just want you to stay out of my face. And he was like, no, I'm going to help you because I want you out of here a lot faster. I need you out of here. Okay, that was rude. Him telling her to her face, I cheated on you because I'm just a guy. This is what guys do. What else did he say that was embarrassing? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, that was that time. Okay, that wasn't the last episode. So I'm really trying to go back to my notes to really point out, because I don't want to put words in his mouth and I don't want to say things that actually didn't happen. I really, truly want to quote him with exactly what he said to her, that, just made it absolutely crazy that she would go and sleep with him that same night. Okay, he completely deflected. He blamed her for he blamed her for the phone, going through his phone. He accuses her of not being a ride or die. This is that last episode. Okay, we're not even on the tell-all yet. This is that last episode where he said, you're not even a ride or die. He called her childish. Okay. What else? He said that she wasn't worth it. He told her, "You're not even worth it," and that they weren't compatible. And then that's when she came back with, "Well, of course we're not compatible because I can't be compatible with a man whore." He told her to get her earrings, which weren't even her earrings, which was earrings that belonged to another woman that were in his house. Um, when she went outside to pack up her Uber or whatever it was, he follows her out there. He continued to gaslight her, making her feel stupid for not wanting to take him back. Okay, making her feel stupid for not wanting to take him back. After all of that, this girl went back and gave her body to him. And that's what I'm not understanding. Chloe, you were wrong for that. You were wrong. You have no self worth. You don't know what your value is. I understand the attraction is there. I get it that the sexual chemistry is strong as hell between the two of you. I get it. But this is where you have to be stronger than your hormones. This is where you really have to be stronger than these physical urges. And even though, look, it's not unusual that someone that you're in a relationship with has done you wrong, but you're still attracted to them. That's not unusual. But we have to fight those urges so that we can preserve a little bit of self respect for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And then when he said at the tell all, let's get to the tell all part where he said to her, he called her a whore, he called her a prostitute because, he had said that he had looked through her phone and saw that some man was sending her money. He sent her a total of $20,000 in, several payments. It totaled $20,000 and said that this was her sugar daddy. And, Chloe was trying to explain herself and say that, well, this was in the beginning of our relationship or before I even met you. I knew this guy. And Johnny was trying to say, well, even after we were together and we had started fresh, this guy was still sending you money. And Chloe was like, well, of course I'm going to take the money. I'm not stupid because you aren't paying the bills around here. Of course I was going to take his money. And then he called her a whore and a prostitute. And he said, the funny thing is, you didn't even need the money. You were showing him your body, sending him videos or pictures or whatever of her body or doing whatever she was doing for the thrill of it. He was like, you're just doing this for the thrill of it. He called her psychotic. He used the word psychotic. And her friend Maria, who had joined them on stage, was like, Chloe, are you going to let this guy talk to you like this? And Chloe was like, let's just let him talk. Just let him talk. As if she had something for him at the end. But she had nothing for him at the end. She had nothing. She gave more energy to Madeline than she did to Johnny, I felt like. And then when he came out and said, because Sean Robinson had said, how soon after that fight, that breakup, did y'all see each other again? And that's when Johnny got really excited because he could not wait to expose Chloe as a weak girl. He couldn't wait to. So even after they broke up, he still wants to humiliate her. He still wants to embarrass her. Johnny, I don't know what his issue is. I don't know if he is still like in love with Chloe and because they're not together, he wants to lash out at her like this and wants to embarrass her like this, or if he really truly hates this girl. I can't figure it out. So when Sean Robinson said, soon after that fight, how soon after did y'all see each other? He was like, go talk, Chloe. Tell him, Chloe. Tell him when was the next time that we saw each other. Go ahead and tell him. Talk, Chloe. And Chloe was like, it was later on that night, I went back to his house and we had sex. And I was like, girl, what? You wanting to go back to him after you confronted him with the cheating, girl, whatever. I'm not going to fault you for that. But for you to go back to him after he humiliated you and embarrassed you and wanted the world to see you in such a horrible light. He wanted the world to look down on you. And you go back and you sleep with him again. And then Jenny was sitting right next to her. And Jenny was like, Chloe. And then Chloe looks at Jenny and she's like, Jenny, don't do it. Like, don't make me feel bad for what I did. You need to feel bad for what you did. You need to feel disgusted with yourself, Chloe. You need to feel humiliated. You need to feel as bad as you can possibly feel so that you don't do this again. You don't let someone embarrass you, trying to ruin your reputation, trying to break you, trying to have the whole world spit on you while they're cheering it on and clapping. You don't let someone like that ever have access to you ever again. He does not deserve it. He is a piss poor excuse of a human being. He relishes in making you look bad. It thrills him to know that you are embarrassed. It thrills him to think that, oh, people are going to look at her. They're going to think that she's, this wishy washy girl with no self worth because I'm going to let them know that she came back to me and she gave me her body again after what I did to her. And then, they talk about her sugar daddy or her alleged sugar daddy or whatever. And he was like, yeah, she doesn't even do it for the money because she doesn't need the money. She does it for the thrill of it. And then proceeds to call her a prostitute and a whore. Chloe, I'm extremely disappointed in you. It's not cute. It's not funny. And I know girls nowadays, the sex positive culture that we're in feel like, I can do whatever I want. I can let men do, because we have seen those videos on social media where women are walking up to men and like begging men to sleep with them or begging men to do certain sexual acts on them. And they think it's cute. They think it's funny. And they think that they think that it's a form of female empowerment to be like, yes, I can walk up to a man. I can beg him that I want to get down on my knees in front of him. I can beg a man to let me do certain things to him on a sidewalk. Okay, this is not like in the privacy of the room. This is like out there in public. I'm just going to walk up to him. Hey, can I, blah, 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 blah. Can I do this out of the third to you? And they feel like this is showing some type of female empowerment, because if men can do it, then we should be able to do it too. And nobody should really criticize us for doing it. But there is, it gets to a point where, and especially if the guys are like, what? Get away from me. Where you have to feel humiliated. You have to feel disgusted with yourself because you need to have some type of self respect. Oh, man, Chloe really disappointed me. I don't know what else to say. Girl, Johnny, I don't even know what to say. I don't know. She is like the definition, the epitome of a backslider. You think that they're doing so well, that they're getting their power back, and then they just fall back into their old ways again. Moving on to Manan and Anthony. So, y'all, Manan doesn't love herself. Manan was so uncomfortable sitting on that couch. I don't know if she was uncomfortable with herself or she was uncomfortable in that damn dress or all of the above. The dress was not flattering at all. The outfit that she wore when she arrived at the tell-all, like that denim jacket skirt set that she had, I thought that looked a whole lot better on her than that damn dress. Now, she's on social media right now defending that damn outfit, talking about how there's like a history to it, telling us about the designer and what the designer's vision was. Kind of like, hey, go easy on my dress because, this designer put a lot of work in. We don't give a damn about that. We don't know who this designer is. We don't care who it is. Designers can make mistakes like anybody else. And that dress was a huge mistake for you, Manan. It was a huge mistake. Manan can pull it together when she wants to. She can definitely pull it together when she wants to. Her being the size that she is not an excuse for her to look the way she did in that dress. She could have found so many different types of outfits, so many different types of silhouettes that would look so much better. That would have complemented her curves instead of insulting her. That dress was awful. And the color of it with her very pale skin, it did her no favors, none whatsoever. So she was very uncomfortable as she was sitting on that couch. There was like, the distance of the Pacific Ocean between her and Anthony. I don't know. I didn't understand that at all. Manon does not like herself. She doesn't like herself. And it's quick to go to, oh, because maybe, she has a poor self-image because of her size. I think it stems from, it's got nothing to do with her size, nothing at all. I think it's got some, I don't know what it is about Manon. I don't know. I don't know, because she can't get along with anybody because she doesn't like her. She's not comfortable in her own skin. And I'm not talking about her size, because anybody can lose weight. She can, get on a GLP-1 or get weight loss surgery. All that weight will be gone in a couple of months. It ain't got nothing to do with her weight, because she can change her weight. I feel like if Manon lost all of that weight, she would still be the same difficult person. I don't know, maybe this is just her personality trait. Maybe this is just who she is. It's just how she was born. But she doesn't get along with her family, doesn't get along with her husband, doesn't get along with her in-laws, doesn't get along with anybody on the show. She doesn't get along with anybody. And I think it's just something that stems from deep, deep within her. And I don't think she likes herself. Now, I have seen some discourse online saying that There's a reason why Manon treats Anthony the way she does. And it's not her being mean to him, it's her reacting to his meanness. I've heard some people say that, behind closed doors, not people that know them personally, but people who are just watching the show and speculating. They say that behind closed doors, Anthony is probably doing things to Manon that is making her treat him the way she does. But we don't see it. So we're thinking that, oh, she's just really mean. I don't think that's the reason at all. Sometimes you can look at someone, and of course we don't know these people, but sometimes you can look at someone and kind of figure out, yeah, I don't know. I don't think this person is really that bad. I don't think Anthony's that bad of a guy. Yes, he does have his faults, but I don't think that behind closed doors he's like poking and poking and poking at her, and that she unleashes on him when they're in front of the camera. I don't think so. I think Anthony, pretty much what we see is what we get. Because on social media, they act like they portray themselves as, ha ha, we fooled y'all. We actually really do love each other and we really do get along. And, Anthony kind of comes across on social media when they do their little skits, little videos or whatever. He kind of comes across as, like he is giving us the middle finger in a way, symbolically, kind of like, oh, y'all thought that I had an issue with my wife, or y'all thought that, Manon was this really horrible person, but I love her and we're happy. And what y'all saw on that show wasn't real. That's what I'm picking up. And I could be wrong, but that's what I'm picking up. When I come across their stuff, it's kind of like they want to prove to the world that, hey, we really do love each other. We really do get along. And y'all just got all worked up over nothing because it's just a TV show. But Manon did not look comfortable. Manon has not looked comfortable or happy since we first saw her on episode 1. Okay. She doesn't like herself, and that's why she cannot connect with anybody else. She cannot even connect with her own baby. Okay. She cannot even connect with her own baby. She can't connect with her husband, her child, her family, her in-laws, nobody. And I think that she comes off really, really harsh and aggressive to hide some major, major, major insecurities. I don't know what else to say about that. We didn't get too much of Dylan and Patia because their segment, I guess we're going to get more into it next week, or in a couple of days, actually. But the thing is, though, is that with Dylan and Patia, the only thing I want to say, in the very, very beginning, when they were first arriving, when they're getting their hair and makeup done, Patia was in the same makeup room as Jenny, and they were talking about their mother-in-laws. And Patia tells Jenny, I think it's just kind of toxic that Dylan talks to his mother 4 times a day. That statement, Patia, reveals how toxic you are, because he talks to his mom 4 times a day. So the hell what? And that's all she says. Oh, he talks to his mom several times a day. She doesn't say, how long are they talking on the phone? She doesn't say, is the mother calling in the middle of dinner and he just gets up and walks away to have a 3-hour conversation with his mom? Does the mother call when y'all are out on a date together and he just completely ignores you to go talk to his mom? Like, what the hell is going on? Because these conversations could be just a couple of minutes long. And the reason why I'm so defensive about this is because I talk to my mom several times a day. I talk to my mom every day, several times a day. We're on the phone. And I make sure that it doesn't interrupt or disrupt what I got going on in my house with my family. But whenever I get a free chance, I'll call my mom or she'll call me, and, we'll jaw jack for a couple of minutes or whatever. And then I'll get off the phone and then I'll think about something. Oh my God, I forgot to tell my mom that. And I'll call her back. Him talking to his mom 4 times a day, it's not that big of a deal unless he's like on the phone with her for hours on end. Like from the time he wakes up to the time he goes to bed, he's on the phone with his mom. You need to give us more information, Patia, exactly how long does he speak with his mother? Jenny and Sumit. So we didn't see too much of them. Their segment is coming up later. But what I thought was interesting about Jenny and Sumit is that Sean asked the question, which was written by someone else on stage, because the cast had written questions to each other. So somebody on this cast had asked, if Sumit had met Jenny on the streets of India, would he have still fallen in love with her? The person who asked that is doubting the love between these two people. They're doubting the love, they're doubting the attraction between these two people. So the question was, if she was just a regular tourist walking through the streets of India, would you have still fallen in love with her? Would she have still have caught your eye, make you want to go up to her and, get to know her better and fall in love with her? Sumit said, oh, what did he say? I don't know, maybe. And everybody jumped on him like, what do you mean? I don't know, maybe. This is supposed to be the love of your life. You're in love with this woman. What do you mean that if you had met her in any other way other than trying to catfish her online, which I felt like we never dug into that deep enough. Like, why are you out here catfishing women, Sumit? But nobody really wants to talk about that. Other than you catfishing her, if you had met her in real life, face to face, would you have still fallen in love with her? He goes, oh, maybe, I don't know. And then when people jumped on him and everybody on stage was like, what do you mean you don't know? Like, what are you talking about? After he realized, oh, I made a mistake by saying that, he wanted to pretend that he didn't understand the question or that he misheard the question. Submit's full of games. Submit is full of games. Submit to me is a scammer at heart. I'm sorry. I think Submit's a scammer. Him catfishing women online, that's how he met Jenny. His funny dealings with, he had the restaurant, then he didn't have the restaurant, and then they got to move back with his parents. Now they're starting the family cafe. It's just, look, I understand that Sumit and Jenny are fan favorites. There are some hardcore Sumit and Jenny fans out there. I am not. I have given that relationship the side eye from day one, but whatever. So he wants to act like he misheard the question. He misunderstood the question because he says, oh, I thought you asked me, would she have fallen in love with me? Why would you think that, Sumit? Why would you think that that was the question? Sean Robinson was very clear and concise when she says, if you had met Jenny in the streets of India, would you have still fallen in love with her? You heard that correctly. But he very much, recalibrated himself when he got all this heat from everybody else. Oh, I misunderstood the question. Submit, shut the hell up. Please shut the hell up. I don't. Anywho, it's all just whatever's going on between Jenny and Sumit is just for them to end up on the last resort because they've done it all. They've done before the 90 days, the 90 days, life after the 90 days, not after. I'm getting it confused. Life after lockup. They've done 90 day. They've done 90 Day Fiance the other way. They've done 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days, I think, or before the 90 days the other way. The regular 90 Day Fiance. They've done Happily Ever After. They've done 90 Day Diaries. Obviously, they can't do the single life. Only thing left is the last resort. And they will definitely, I think that they will definitely be on the last resort. So here they are scamming everybody with their fake problems just to continue to stay on the show. I don't know what else to say. Another thing, when it comes to Jenny and Sumit and their financial problems, like, what's up with the money that you're getting from 90 Day Fiance? Like, why aren't you using that to get your own place? That's how we know that y'all are just full of it. Y'all are faking the funk to stay on TV. I'm pretty sure Jenny makes a good, a decent amount of money. I'm not saying she's the richest woman in the world. I'm not saying that they're cutting her $1 million checks per season, but I know that she's making enough to have for them to have their own place in India. Why do we have to pretend like these people are not getting paid? I don't get it. Why do you have to give us these fake money problem situations, these fake money problem scenarios, thinking that people are not going to be like, but you're getting paid from the show? Why don't you use that money to get you a little bungalow, a little apartment or whatever, a little house, a little cottage over there in India? It doesn't make any sense for y'all moving back to the family. It's all fake. It's all BS just for y'all to be on 90 Day, the last resort. And of course they're going to choose each other. They're not going to divorce each other because they're making more money staying together than they would ever make being apart. So of course, whatever they got going on to be on the last resort, they're going to get on the last resort. They're going to act like they have all these issues. By the end of the season, in about, I don't know, however long a season lasts, 16 weeks, 18 weeks, all of their problems will be magically resolved and they will choose each other at the altar. We've all figured it out. So why do do we even need to watch it? I'm just rambling. Thank you so much for joining me. I truly do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video if you like this content. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.